From the dawn of civilization, humanity has grappled with the ultimate mystery. What happens after we die? Every culture, every mythology has spun tales of the underworld and the powerful deities who reign over it. Today, we read diving deep into this shadowy realm to answer a colossal question. Between two of the most iconic gods of the dead, who is the true master? Is it the meticulous jackal-headed god of ancient Egypt, Anubis? Or is it the formidable king of the Greek underworld, Hades? Get ready for a mythological showdown for the ages. Let's begin our journey in the sun-scorched lands of ancient Egypt, where the rites of death were an art form. Here we meet Anubis, one of the oldest and most revered gods in the Egyptian pantheon. You recognize him instantly by his striking black jackal head, a symbol of the scavengers that roam the desert cemeteries, which paradoxically made him their protector. Anubis wasn't just a figurehead. He was a hands-on deity. His primary role was as the god of mummification and embalming. The Egyptians believed that preserving the body was essential for the soul's journey into the afterlife, and it was Anubis who oversaw this sacred process, ensuring the deceased was prepared for eternity. But his duties didn't end there. Once the body was prepared, Anubis took on the role of a psychopomp, a guide of souls. He would take the hand of the deceased and lead them through the perilous underworld, protecting them from the monsters that lurked in the darkness. His most critical function, however, was as the arbiter of fate in the Hall of Two Truths. This is where the famous weighing of the heart ceremony took place. Anubis would place the heart of the deceased on one side of a great scale, and on the other, the feather of Mat, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was lighter than the feather, it meant the soul had lived a virtuous life, and Anubis would present them to Osiris for entry into the blissful afterlife. But if the heart was heavy with sin, it was devoured by the monstrous Ammit, and the soul ceased to exist. So, while incredibly powerful and vital, Anubis was a gatekeeper, a judge, and a guide. He served a higher authority, the great king of the underworld, Osiris. He was the protector, not the monarch. Now, let's just sail across the Mediterranean to the rugged shores of ancient Greece and enter a realm shrouded in gloom and mystery. This is the domain of Hades. Unlike Anubis, Hades wasn't just a guide or a judge. He was an absolute king. As one of the three great Olympian brothers, alongside Zeus, ruler of the sky, and Poseidon, ruler of the sea, Hades drew the short straw and was given dominion over the underworld, the realm of the dead. He wasn't a god you prayed to for guidance. He was a god you feared and respected from a distance. His very name became synonymous with his kingdom. Hades' job was to rule over the dead, to maintain order, and ensure that the boundaries between the living and the deceased were never crossed. He was the great jailer, making sure that once a soul entered his realm, it never left. His kingdom was vast and divided, with fields of Elysium for heroes, the asphodel meadows for ordinary souls, and the dark pits of Tartarus for the truly wicked. While he was often portrayed as grim and stern, Hades wasn't inherently evil like some modern interpretations suggest. He was just impartial and unyielding in his duties. He rarely left his kingdom, one famous exception being the abduction of Persephone, a myth that explained the changing of the seasons. He was also associated with wealth, as all the precious metals and gems mined from the earth were considered part of his domain, earning him the name Plauton, or the Rich One. So let's put them side by side in a head-to-head comparison. First, let's talk about their domain. Anubis' domain is the process of dying. He's involved from the moment of death, through the preservation of the body, the journey through the underworld, and the final judgment. His power is procedural and deeply personal. Hades, on the other hand, rules a physical, defined territory. His domain is the destination itself, the entire realm where all souls, good and bad, ultimately reside. He is the landlord of the afterlife. Next, their personalities. Both gods value order and justice, but their approaches are worlds apart. Anubis is often depicted as a compassionate guide. He literally holds the hand of the deceased, offering protection and reassurance on a terrifying journey. He is a comforting presence in the face of the unknown. Hades is a detached monarch. He isn't concerned with the individual journey of each soul, but with the grand-scale management of his kingdom. He is stern, remote, and focused on maintaining the cosmic balance. He commands respect through fear and authority, not comfort. Anubis is your guide. Hades is your king. Finally, let's examine their power. This is where it gets really interesting. Anubis holds the power of judgment. The fate of every single Egyptian soul rested on his scales. The power to grant eternal paradise or utter oblivion is immense. Without his approval, no one could enter the afterlife. His power is the key that unlocks the door. Hades' power is one of absolute sovereignty. He commands legions of spirits, controls the geography of the entire underworld, and possesses a divine authority equal to his brothers, Zeus and Poseidon. His word is law in his realm. He doesn't just hold the key. He owns the entire estate, the locks, the doors, and everything inside. So, who is the true master of the dead? After weighing all the evidence, the verdict becomes clearer. Anubis is the indispensable master of the journey and the trial. He is the gatekeeper, the judge, and the protector, without whom no soul could hope to find peace. His role is intimate and crucial. However, when it comes to sheer dominion and ultimate rule over the final destination of all souls, the title must go to Hades. While Anubis decides who gets in, Hades is the undisputed king of the house once you're there. He is the monarch of the underworld, the final authority in the realm of the dead. One is the master of the passage, the other is the master of the place. It ultimately depends on what you define as mastery, control over the process or control over the realm itself. But in a direct contest for the throne of the underworld, the crown sits firmly on the head of the grim king Hades. What do you think? Did we get it right? Which god of death from mythology fascinates you the most? Let us know down in the comments. We love diving into these epic comparisons, so if you enjoyed this journey into the underworld, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more mythological deep dives. Thanks for watching.